What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to an episode brought to you by Moderation Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Elemental Wander. Now we're gonna jump actually straight into the tree, and I'm going to show you guys the original path I took. You guys can check out this exact build on exilepro.com. I'll put the link in the description below. This is Kripparian's build up to this point, but I plan on making a few tweaks past this point. I am currently level 50, as you can see here, level 50, and we're gonna jump right into the skill tree here. Now you see it's a Templar. Now you can start as a witch if you really wanted to. You know, you can go up here, grab this, you can grab Eldritch Battery as soon as possible, and then you can go straight up into like some of the wand nodes, and then you can go up and grab, you know, your static blows, and then go straight for some HPs, grab the elemental damage nodes from here from Catalyze and all that good stuff. But generally you want to do this as a Templar because Templar will be a little bit easier later game, or just easier in general to set up, because you get all these elemental damage nodes, and plus you can actually start off as a physical damager. And let's say if you went that route and you went and you got let's say if you started as a witch and you tried to make a wander and you try to go with these wand nodes here and then grab static blows, you would have very little life. You'd have these 3 points in life, and then you'd have to come all the way down here and then grab fitness, and then probably come down here and try to grab this fitness over here. So I thought it was a little bit, so starting off would be a little bit easier with a Templar, but then later on past level 40 you're gonna be having a little bit of troubles. But then once you hit around level 45, at that point you start to transition. So pretty much right over here, I'm level 50, and here and there, and that's where the real big step was here. So around 46, 47, you are about to spec these last few points so you can connect from the start to here, so you can unspec these for melee damage nodes. So when you unspec these, you'll be investing them into the base of the witch tree here. So you climb all the way over here and you grab these life nodes, and you go up and you grab Eldritch Battery, and at that point, after you grab Eldritch Battery, you grab these nodes here until you reach this intel node right here, and then you unspec these 4 nodes, and then you move back up and then you grab these witch nodes here. So when I was 47, I grabbed Prestidigitation. And then once I hit 50, I got to unspec these points and then put into these mana nodes here. So I pretty much got 80% increased mana regeneration rate just from these, just between level 47 and 50. So that's a big bonus, and it'll help you with your wanding. So that's pretty much the build. If you look at it, you know, you grab these fitness nodes here. You always want to go for the HPs. I am playing hardcore, so you grab fitness up here, divine toughness, and then later on I'll be grabbing I'll grab this wand here, and then grab my static blows, and then but first I want to get the fitness over here, the fitness node over here, and then which one I'll be making my way down here to get these life nodes. And then after I get my static blows, and so after I get this fitness node, at that point I'm going to go for inner force. And that's pretty much how it goes. At that point you want to go for life, and then you come down to the shadow part of the tree and you grab some more life, and you grab some crit chance, and that's pretty much how it goes. And then when you want, you can grab the maximum power charges. No rush, you don't have to grab maximum power charges right away, but if you want to have a little bit of an easier time with farming and all that stuff, you can grab maximum power charges, and then you can make your way maybe somewhere over here and grab one of these. I can't remember which one it is. Conduit, yeah. And that's pretty much the build. We're going to go look at my terrible stats here. Like you see, I'm level 50, and I'm only in Fellshrine Runes on Cruel, so I just decided to overly farm myself to make sure that I can hit a point where my wanding is comfortably capable to progress through content. Because when you are level when you're between the levels of 35 and 45, because around 45 you transition to become a wander, because that's when it becomes possible, depending on when you have your gear that you can use to become a wander. You'll then be able to transition to your wanding, but between the levels of 35 and 45 you'll be having some fairly high difficulties with the physical part, because you'll be still using an axe or something, and you'll be using sweep, because that's what I was using, and it's not necessarily comfortable to use because you are in hardcore and you are taking a lot of damage for a character who isn't really necessarily meant to be using melee. So we look into here, if we look at my mana recovery per second, it's only 78.3, which doesn't compensate fully for my mana cost, which is 80. But that's why I use to compensate with my giant mana flask. I am using Arctic armor when I find it necessary to be using it, but I don't necessarily use it. So if we look at my gear, you see I have Arctic armor here, but I do swap that out 90% of the time for faster projectiles for my single target power siphon. So we have power siphon here, using power siphon now. That's pretty much this right here. So that's for single target attacks. If you're taking down a champion, it does about you see 344.2 DPS, and then you also have to include the resistances, so that's a negative factor in that case. And then we have my I'm pretty much using these boots just for the life, and then the here we have the sockets that I need that are linked, so quadra-linked, so it's not so the boots aren't so bad, but I'm pretty much using it just for the link ups here. So we have chain using power siphon, weapon elemental damage, and lesser multiple projectiles, which are the biggest one would be weapon elemental damage. And then if you look at chain actually doubles the amount of mana that costs for the skill, and then about halves your DPS, or gives you a third of the DPS, give or take. So mana cost, and then you put this in, boom, you have about 203 DPS. So you have less DPS, and then your mana cost is increased to 80, but your AoE capabilities are increased tremendously, and plus if it bounces back to the target, it just does 400 DPS damage. And this is only tooltip, so you got to keep that in mind. This is tooltip damage, so that's what the tooltip says, but you can't trust the tooltip. And then here I have discipline, anger linked up with a reduced mana. I usually switch out this discipline here for either clarity or wrath, so I can get the reduced mana on that. And then I'm running enduring cry, and as well as elemental weakness. And then when I said that, every now and then I'll be running Arctic armor, but that's not necessarily the case in 90% of the situations that I'm in. So basically you use elemental weakness on all the mobs, so you can get that extra 39% elemental resistance. They lose 39% elemental resistance, which is nearing 50%. So I have to level up my elemental weakness up to the point where I can get to them to lose half their resistances. And then we have enduring cry. When I am taking some form of melee damage, I kind of want to take a little bit less damage, physical damage that is. And so we're gonna go out, we're gonna go kill some stuff real quick, just so you can see. If you haven't seen the wander, I'm gonna leave a description link below for like Kripparian's build, whatever. It's all very much the same as Kripparian's build, but I want to kind of customize my build and have a few different things rather than him, and I might as well just spread the whole Templar thing. See, you know, I'm in a very low level zone, so it's not necessarily difficult. And as you can see, every now and then I will be popping my giant mana flask. And if you see here, I'm not using Tempest Shield. I don't really use Tempest Shield. I really don't know why I have it. But if I am in a situation where I want to be a little bit more defensive, I will use Tempest Shield. But it kind of reduces my mana up to a point where it is very difficult to start using Power Siphon. But then again, as I said, it is for situations of which I am trying to be defensive, and in those situations I'm kind of basically doing this. Okay, so let's say I pop it, I'm hitting people like this, and then I'm running away, so that compensates for, because my mana regen is gonna regen whatever mana I used for power siphon. So I'm not just wailing away like this, I'll be running away, hitting like this, and then I'll be using enduring cry, stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to use Tempest Shield, but it's something you're gonna be using late game. Oh God, look at this! Look at it! I'll be taking it. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. This is just a quick little build on just the first 50. So do make sure that this is nowhere near what my character is necessarily gonna look like later game, because my gear's crap, and but it is starting to come together. Once I hit level 70, maybe 75, I will be doing maps, and I will show you guys the build then. But other than that, this is just the first 50 video showing you guys what the character looks like, how it works, and I'll still be leaving a description a link to this in the description below so you guys can see Kripparian and his build. It might go to a little bit more detail than I did, but that's pretty much it, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.